My obsession with boy bands almost got me kicked out of my house. I started listening to boy bands when I was really young. My sister was obsessed with the band The Backstreet Boys, so I basically grew up listening to them. But one night, years later, I was babysitting and just watching TV, and a band came on TV, and they were playing a song from the movie The Little Mermaid called Poor Unfortunate Souls. Immediately I thought they were so hot, they had talent, and that band was the Jonas Brothers. Immediately I was hooked. I searched them up, tried to find everything I needed to know about them, basically to become their next biggest fan. Fast forward a few years later when my obsession grew with a band called One Direction. They were a British band, originally on the X Factor, even though they didn't win. At first I didn't really like them, but that kind of only lasted about 3 days. And then their hotness, their talent, they can sing, and basically their whole way about them as a band grew on me, and it's still to this day, as well as the Jonas Brothers. I am still one of their biggest fans. In the summer of 2014, I was seeing One Direction live in concert, and a certain Australian band who were also very attractive and had talent as well, called 5 Seconds of Summer, or 5 Sauce for short, never 5 SOS, it makes all us fans cringe, opened for them, and again, immediately I was hooked, searching all I needed to know, Googling everything. And now backtrack to Jonas Brothers. I did get to see them in about, I believe it was 2006, live in Syracuse for the first time with my family, and with a purchase that night of their new CD, self-titled Jonas Brothers, you got to meet and greet wristband. So I got to meet them too that night. We weren't allowed to hug them, which I was really bummed about, but it was Joe's birthday, he was my favorite, so I asked for a high five and he said yes. Now, fast forward back to where I was. My obsession grew even more with social media growing even bigger. I followed all of the bands that I loved on Twitters, including each individual member, gaining myself just last year, January 9th, 2015, a follow from Michael Clifford from 5 Seconds of Summer. I may have screamed and almost broke my foot with the excitement. And also, I created a 5 Seconds of Summer dedicated Tumblr account, which to this day has around 1,400 followers, which is pretty good in my opinion. Now, the obsession started to get real bad when I would spend countless amount of hours searching up these bands, spending so much money on concert tickets, merchandise, anything on iTunes, anything band related I wanted. Now, speaking of concerts, I have seen all these bands live. I've seen Jonas Brothers twice, one in Syracuse, one in Toronto, before the band broke up. I saw One Direction twice, once in Toronto and once in Montreal. The Montreal concert, I was 8th row on the floor, so some fangirling was involved. And I've only seen 5 Seconds of Summer once, in Toronto last year, but I am seeing them in about a month. This upcoming July, I'm seeing them again in Toronto. My parents, like any other parents, were getting a little bit annoyed. They were basically saying that if I wanted to live in this fantasy world of being a roadie for any of these bands, then I would have to move out. They were not having a groupie living in their house. That's when I knew things had to change. I started searching up college programs in various different fields, and then I found the TV and media program at Loyalist College. So I applied to that, I got accepted into that, and I am now still a fangirl, but a professional fangirl. I am now working at Much Music as a VJ, so I get to interview all my favorite bands. So far I have interviewed One Direction and 5 Seconds of Summer. Unfortunately, I can't interview the Jonas Brothers as a band because they are no longer. Hi, I'm Darcy. I'm a professional fangirl who at the beginning got a little too consumed, but now I am living the dream.